So you're looking for a USA made 1095 steel blade for just over $100 with a Kydex sheath to boot. I think I might have just the blade for you. Yeah, man, that's right, folks. Welcome to the channel. The Tops Knives Mohawk Hunter. I regret not having picked this blade up sooner because I am digging this knife for a lot of different reasons that we're going to get into today. But this is what this has to offer. We're getting a Kydex sheath, slim, nice taco design. Tops is rotating 360 degrees belt clip. This thing rides perfectly on a shoulder strap of a backpack or a tack vest. So if you are looking for a knife that can kind of ride in that situation and in that layout, it's perfectly slim enough that it can even slide underneath some of those like water bladder hose straps. And so it's really mounted easily onto a lot of backpack straps. That's how I've been carrying this. Really like that option. Then you can take it off and clip it to your belt or wherever else you would want to use it. Really good retention on that sheath. Just about 5 inches, just a hair under 5 inches. Saber grind. Definitely got more of like that, more military piercing design than say like a big bellied wide blade design. So that's something to consider. That may make you gravitate more to it. It may make you go, So we'll talk about some competitive options from Tops as well as other companies throughout this video, but really good full handle. Gonna run you about $115 on Amazon. All of links in the description below, guys, over to Amazon Blade HQ. Helps us out when you guys use those hyperlinks. So throughout this video, if this knife you see value in or some of the other competitive options, when you guys use those, helps me continue to do what we do here. So with that, folks, let's go ahead and break down this tool. Let me show you why I am digging it so much. All right, so here we are. Man, this has been a fun blade to get to know. When you are testing out gear and when you begin to use a knife regularly, you get to know it. And that's what I've really found with this knife is that this is a really friendly knife for a lot of tasks. Now, really cool, we got this nice kind of like a tiger gray and black camo coating on there. I decided to go with that. I've reviewed a lot of Tops over the years and I've never actually had one of their camo coated knives. This coating is holding up really well. Again, just a little bit of wear with lots of beating on this blade so I can get a good feel for that. But yeah, it has a 5-inch overall blade length, actual cutting edge of 4.75. So you're getting a lot more reach than some of these other knives in this design. And in just this kind of feel of being, a utility knife, a combat knife, a field knife. You're absolutely able to do a lot of tasks for you and giving you that short saber grind. So it goes up about halfway all the way to the tip. You have a clip tip, but very thick. So it's going to be very tough, durable. You can pry, stab, absolutely designed to be a stabbing, penetrating, that type of knife. Absolutely can do that because of just the thinner from edge to spine blade height and then just the way it's designed. And then it's going to be 0.19, so over 3/16 of an inch thick. Not ultra heavy though, at 9.1 ounces. So that weight is going to be a really good balance. It balanced itself very well for me. I didn't feel like it was too heavy at one end or the other, and vice versa, and just a really good balance. Now that means that you won't do any sort of chopping with this. This isn't a chopper. I did some light hacking, delimbing a couple little light branches, like the thickness of your thumb, and it can do that, but that's about it. So don't think you're going to be Paul Bunyan hacking down trees with this blade. But 1095 high carbon steel, Tops has always done a great job with that. So the tip itself and penetration was great. I mean, stabbing, prying, cranking on this thing, not worried about snapping or breaking the tip. So if you see yourself doing a lot of stabbing tasks with this knife or wanting to be able to do that, this is absolutely going to hold up to a lot of abuse, which is great. Now, the saber grind with that short grind geometry and then the thickness makes it an easy batoner as well. I batoned lots of stuff there about the thickness of my wrist, about 3 inches, 2.5 inches, easily done. So you can absolutely split down some wood if you had to around a fire to get going and get the fire going. Absolutely going to do a good job with that, and I was impressed with that capability. And the clip isn't so sharp that it like destroys the batoning stick. It would take a very long time for you to damage and break a batoning stick because it has a wide clip. Still adding to the penetration factor, but not the damage to the stick. So then when I actually went to all of your field tasks, right, because it has a shorter grind with a wide blade, I was kind of like, I don't know how good this is going to be, but it has a fantastic relief edge. So seatbelt, rope, all that, no problem. Going to be able to do all those type of tasks. You roll over in a Humvee or something, be able to cut yourself out. you know, cut yourself off if you were, you know, hung up in a tree with a repair chute, you know, just paracord around the campsite, whatever it may be. And then when it came to like bushcraft tasks, I actually exclusively use this on our winter camp cookout to create my own spoon. So I carved this thing to the point where I was able to get a pretty good kind of spatula-shaped spoon. I was actually really happy with it. I was not expecting it to perform like it did. It did a great job with that. Are there other blades with like higher grind angles and thinner blades that would do better? Absolutely. But for the design of this knife, you could absolutely use this, and again, the idea of, you know, like an overland, expeditionary, I don't know what else, what other word, you know, military law enforcement type of knife, but then also be able to do your woodscraft if need be. So very impressed with that, and the thin blade really helped make it very comfortable and didn't fatigue my my hand because of the distance from edge to spine was very nimble, was very agile in that, very easy to do. Then notching, you know, doing all that type of stuff, fantastic, no issues there, did a great job. Again, because of the thickness and shortness of the grind and everything, there are other blades that do better, but for this style, this kind of, you know, field knife, fantastic. And then finally, feather stick making, was able to get plenty of good shavings and really working on the blade, getting a good feel for how the geometry was easy, and able to really, you know, find out those feather sticks to the point where the shavings I was able to light with my fire steel with just the shavings. I didn't use any other incendiaries. I didn't use any other grass or other things that would help me out. It was just on the shavings, and it did great. So you could absolutely start a fire with this tool if you had a fire steel. Now the spine is not designed. It doesn't have it does not have a 90-degree spine, so you'd have to grind it off somewhere. But overall, guys, for this more field knife design, really performed well, and was super pleased with its overall design. All right, handle ergonomic time. Looking at this blade. Now, I love the transition that's just smooth all the way through. And again, we're going to run in some competitive options here in just a moment. But what I really liked about this is that, you know, they've colored the micarta differently near the guard. So it kind of gives you that feel like it's a metal guard. It's not, it's just micarta, but it kind of gives you that feel. Nice kind of gray micarta there. They have transitioned the angles very nicely. I was a little concerned, is this going to be squared off and blocky? It is squared off, but because of the narrowness, and this is going to be 0.75 on the thickness of the handle, and it's going to be probably about an inch right back here. So it feels really good, like a broom handle. I never had a hot spot, particularly for working on like a half-hour wood spoon. That's when, I mean, if you do that type of work, you're going to know if this handle sucks. And it was a great, comfortable handle. Zero issues with that. Great little bit of jimping right here, and because they have paired it with the micarta, even though it looks kind of sharp, it actually gave me really good traction right there with that little bit of guard, deep guard right there. You have a little bit of jimping right there on the spine that didn't cause any sort of issues. The large flat back spine, it makes it easy for you to do, put your thumb wherever you would like when you're doing finer detailed carving work, but still giving you that cut in and just the way that it feels, so that if you are doing lots of stabbing and you know, a harder task, you're not going to accidentally slide up and hurt yourself, which I really appreciate. Has that really nice kind of flats on the side with a little bit of hill and valleying, but nothing crazy, and then recessed bolts in there, and then just really working well. So 5 inches overall. You do have an exposed pommel back here, so you could do some hammering, breaking like that. A little bit of a hook. Again, if this was a big heavy chopping blade, I wouldn't be excited about that because that would cause hot spots, but for the light little hack in, no problem. And still going to give you that something hard there to slam down if need be for whatever task that you may need to do. You know, banging on a metal box or something, aluminum, you know, container, whatever it may be, crack it open. It does give you that spare back there. So you're looking at actual micarta of about maybe 4.75 easily, but in my large size hands, I mean, you can see there are tons and tons of real estate. I wear large size gloves, as you guys know. Massive real estate there. Reverse grips, easy to do, no hot spots. Very comfortable. Didn't feel squared off or clunky. Really good ergonomics. Simple, classic, but very functional. All right, here we are at the tabletop for competitive options on this Mohawk Hunter, and really looking forward to breaking that down for you guys today. And if you're looking at the Mohawk Hunter, you're probably looking at another, you know, you're trying to weigh your odds, like what should you buy, what should you be looking at. Another tops knife, the Hog 4.5. Have had this for a long time. It's a staple in the collection. Love this blade, the size, the capability, the ergonomics. It really has a lot going for it. And the thing that makes these similar is their basically shape, size, and their price. They're both going to become, this guy again about $115 for the Mohawk Hunter, $120. This guy about $120, $125, usually a little bit more expensive, not by much though. Both $10.95, you know, all that. So that's awesome. And Tops did send this over to me to test out review, so I can give you guys this honest feedback and give you my take so that you can decide if the Mohawk Hunter is the right tool for you or some of these other blades we're about to look at today. That's what we always want to do here in the reviews, is give you full honest content, data points, so you can make that wise decision. So very similar in price. This one being, again, a little bit more field ready, more tactical, you know, having a saber grind, more piercing clip. This guy having a full flat grind, more larger belly, a little bit better for, you know, woods craft and that type of thing. Food prep, you'll do a little bit better with the hog, but they're both very capable with either task. But especially in woodscraft, both are going to do really, really well for you. A lot of it is just preference. Do you like wide, full flat grind belly blades? Do you like more piercing clip point blades to do those work tasks with? This is the thing though, at again $115, you are getting that Kydex sheath right out of the gate. That really works well, particularly for like a shoulder strap of a backpack, right? I mean, and if you are looking for a blade to carry that way and do a lot of applications, regardless if it's around a campsite, hiking, backpacking, self-defense, you know, whatever it would be, this has a lot of capability in that. The Hog 4.5 out of the gate for about the same price does not, in my opinion, have a sheath that I enjoy using. It's a large nylon, clunky, loud, not fun to carry sheath. It has like a flap that I think makes it jump ready for the military, like it qualifies to be able to be carried if you were to jump and parachute out of a plane. That's great. Very few of us are going to do that, and you basically have to upgrade the sheath immediately on the Hog if you're going to enjoy carrying it, because if you don't enjoy carrying it, you're not going to carry it into the woods, then you're not going to actually use it. So there has to be that carry capability. Now Tops does have a leather sheath that both these knives I believe will fit in. I will have a link in the description below. It's about $40, $45 if I remember correctly, but right out of the gate, now this makes this like a $65, $70, $170 knife versus the $115, and that's only for leather. If you want to go Kydex, you're going to have to do custom. We're looking closer to $200 probably, you know, $180 to get this with a Kydex sheath, whereas this comes out of the gate with that. So out of the gate, the Mohawk Hunter has a lot more value to performance than the Hog does out of the gate. Now, if you put a Kydex sheath or a really good leather one like what Tops makes or whatever on the Hog, and that's what you like, then you could argue that depending on what you're looking for, it might outperform in some food prep and carving, outperform the Mohawk Hunter. The Mohawk Hunter will actually feel a little more ergonomic in like reverse grips, just because it's a more classic straight handle versus this contouring can sometimes get in the way a little bit. You kind of got to grip it a certain way to do reverse grips, and it won't have quite, the Hog won't have quite the clip and quite the strength of the saber grind, though they are very compatible, very similar in their capabilities. So those are some things I wanted to give you guys food for thought. And out of the gate, if price is an issue and you want a good field knife, I think I'm going to go with the Mohawk Hunter. It actually usurps the position of the Hog 4.5 from the factory, like purchasing it. Now, after investing, then I might want to kind of go with the Hog 4.5 still, but again, I got to spend a lot more money to get same mounting options, and this still has so much fun, so much capability, so much performance value in the Mohawk Hunter. So guys, it has taken a very loved role now in my collection. You're going to see it a lot in upcoming hiking adventures and things like that, just in B-roll and stuff. We might be reviewing a backpack, and you're going to see this on the shoulder strap because I like carrying it, and it's so easy and so simple and so high performing. So just real fast, just want to share a couple other things with you. I spoke about the SRK, just give you some perspective there. More of just like, if you own an SRK, similar like profile. So similar kind of performance levels that you would expect. Obviously 1095, USA made, exposed tang. This is Kraton. This is hollow grind now. They used to do sabers, SK5 steel. You know, so there are positives and negatives depending on what you're looking at. The Gerber Strong Arm, I would actually say, is probably the closest, if you own a Gerber Strong Arm, that the Mohawk Hunter feels like. Similar, you know, like saber grind, halfway up the middle, clip point. Obviously better steel, 1095 over the 420. Exposed full tang. This is enclosed full tang. Again, positives and negatives depending on what you're looking for, all of that. And I think I spoke on this earlier. The Almar is definitely a smaller knife overall, and definitely a thinner knife, particularly with the handle. The handle on the Mohawk Hunter is definitely more suited for long woods craft tasks. I wouldn't want to be, you know, like carving out a spoon like I did with the Mohawk. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't want to be doing that with this Almar. This Almar is a light duty, you know, stabbing, piercing, tactical folder, or fixed blade for the most part. So what really, again, guys, sets this Mohawk Hunter apart from a lot of other blades, particularly from Tops or just other companies in general, is you're getting a field knife layout in its design with a Kydex sheath for about $115, and that's really hard to do. The only other blades really that I can think of that I really enjoy using is like an SE 4HM with Kydex sheath for about $100, $105, but very different design. It's not going to have any sort of guard. It's a full flat grind. It's shorter. It's lighter. Great for woodscraft, but not going to have any sort of like tactical capability. And this actually is a better mounting option for a lot of scenarios than even that SE. I had to upgrade, spend another $20 on this back panel. Again, no upgrading in my opinion needed with the Kydex sheath that the Mohawk comes with, and you're getting all those capabilities. So guys, that's why I love the Mohawk Hunter, and has taken a pivotal role now in my 1095 collection of these kind of field knives that I have and that I use on a regular basis. And so if that's what you're looking for, I think you will not be disappointed at all. Totally digging it. So I hope that this video has just been informative, helped you out, shown you what this tool can offer, and a knife for me that has flown under the radar for quite a while, and it might have been flying under the radar for you, but I hope it's brought it up to a big, like, hey, check this thing out. I love it, guys. Totally digging it. You'll see it in upcoming videos, just in other competitive options, and just, you know, carrying when I'm out there testing other gear, because I totally dig it. So thanks so much. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. Please subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. If you are, make sure to hit that bell icon so that the videos will show up in your news feed, and check back regularly, guys. Throw up 2 to 4 videos every single week here at the channel. And as always, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.